Hi, thanks for joining us today on Why Communication Matters. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Marinelle, and in today's episode, we're going to take control of your image and reputation through personal branding.
So Mari, let's talk a bit about why personal branding is important and why people should care about this. A lot of companies, successful companies and brands, your Apple, your Google out there, they spend a ton of money on their branding and marketing. So I think when it comes to individuals, it's equally important for us to have a think about that and be very clear about the person that we are and who we want to project to the exterior world out there.
No, I completely agree. I think even to really stand out in a job market or even be able to position yourself more stronger within the company you're working, I think it's very important to ensure that you can build that credibility for yourself, that trust that will actually encourage others to want to work with you, but at the same time also, be recommended to work with others. So I think it's very important. How about actually, Nat, what are the benefits of being seen and heard? What do you think, could actually really stand out?
I think building a powerful personal brand can bring you very, very far in so many ways, right? Where you touch a little bit on the professional aspect, whether it's winning new clients, building your business, or building that, relationship with your colleagues or your manager so that it helps you further your, promotion, your development within the company. Being clear about what you stand for and who you are is super important because people do business with people.
Yeah, I think actually a lot of companies actually fall prey to this, and I think that really being able to be consistent is also something that's extremely important. Inconsistency can just lead to a lot of confusion. It does not reflect who you are. Being consistent has to be very important from an offline as well as an online presence for yourself. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just going to end up looking very fake and hypocritical. So yeah, I think it's important to really focus on your strengths and the things that actually make you stand out as an individual. And I think this will really be able to help you create that strong identity that would, in the end, just help you connect with your audience.
And I think that's what personal branding should be about. It should be an amplification of yourself. It shouldn't be about creating a fake you. Obviously, you might have different personas you want to show to different people, but at the end of the day, it has to be authentic, like you said, right? I think a lot of people find talking about themselves very uncomfortable. They see personal branding very much about self-promotion, but I think it's not about self-promotion. It's more than that. It's telling your story, like I said earlier before.
Yeah, I think in today's day and world, how difficult is it to find out information about anyone, right? Google, the internet, social media. So I think it's very important that the person that you put out there online is exactly the kind of person aligned with who you really are in person. So I think that's also very, very important.
So now that we've talked about how to build a powerful personal brand, Mari, can you share a little bit more with us about how PR can help amplify that message?
I think that PR basically is about influencing, engaging, and really being able to build a very strong relationship with your stakeholders, because that's going to be able to help shape a perception about you and your brand. If it's just about yourself, or if it's more about the company, its offerings. So I think it's how are you able to connect with your audience, and how do you build that relationship with them? I think with PR, it's also it's not like paid ads or it's earned. It holds more weightage because it's more organic, and hence I could honestly say it's 90% also more effective. At the end of the day, when you're looking to build a relationship and really connect with your audience and consumers, it's not always about selling, right? It's more about how you're able to kind of really make an impact and really showcase that impact that you're making with your brand and your offerings.
If you build up, a strong personal brand from the very beginning, you take your time to build up your reputation, your credibility, that can actually really act as a protection for you against crisis in future, right? So it shouldn't just be seen as something you want to start doing when a crisis has hit, but something that has built up over time. So a little bit like taking vitamins on a day-to-day basis. You're building up that immunity so that when you need it, it's there to protect you.
Yeah, I think even social actually plays a very strong role, and you work on a couple of social media brands, right, Nat? So why don't you just tell us, how social media kind of plays a role also in personal branding?
Yeah, I mean, there are so many channels and platforms out there, right? You've got your TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, obviously as the biggest professional social media network. So once you've sort of figured out, I guess, like what you want to say and who you are, then it's time to decide which platforms you want to be on, which platforms do you want to invest your time in. And to do that, you need to understand the kind of audiences that live and play on those different platforms as well. Like any brand strategy or marketing strategy, yes, it does take a little bit of time to think about that. What kind of content do you want to push out? What do you want to say? But what I always tell people who are just starting like this journey is don't let perfect be the enemy of good, right? Just kickstart something. You don't have to worry about every single little detail. And once you get that ball rolling, it really comes a little bit more naturally to you. If you start building this up over time, very much like PR and what we talked about, the influence and the impact that it can have for you long term is pretty incredible. So it's going back to step one of any strategy ideation, right? It's what is your objective, what do you want to talk about, and who are you trying to speak to. LinkedIn is such an important platform when it comes to building that professional network. And quite surprisingly, we've met so many people who don't have a LinkedIn profile, or their LinkedIn profile is just half done. Honestly, like I know so many people who put in more effort into like their Tinder profile than LinkedIn, right? So they just don't think about it, or they just for some reason don't realize the importance of it, or how much that can actually impact your business.
I think really building that perception of an honest you is so important, and that overall will just lead to more a stronger identity for you out there.
So now that we've talked about the basics of personal branding, why it's important to start thinking about it and taking control of your public image, how to build trust and credibility, and how do you differentiate yourself to stand out from the crowd.
Personal branding is a very conscious and an intentional effort, so remember to invest in yourself. Be authentic, be focused, consistency, online and offline, and tell a gripping story. At the end of the day, for amplification, PR and social media will be able to create enough awareness and exposure for you.
We hope you've enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with any questions you have for us.
Nat, it's time for a glass of wine.
It's 11 a.m., but okay, sure, let's go. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye.